1995, 6 years after Michael Myers last terrorized Haddonfield, he returns there in pursuit of his niece, Jamie Lloyd, who has escaped with her newborn child, for which Michael and a mysterious cult have sinister plans. Directed by Joe Chappelle, who did Phantoms and a lot of TV like The Wire, Chicago Fire, Fringe, all that kind of shit.
Oh,
Um,
now
written
that I
by
know that, I'm giving it a higher ranking.
written by Daniel Ferrens, who did The Haunting of Sharon Tate, The Girl Next Door, and The Tooth Fairy. He also has a bunch of other stuff like Friday the 13th. He's got some like behind the scenes, there's the making of. He did a lot of shit
Yeah.
involving horror. That's why I say if if they would have done his script the way that he originally wrote it and not chicken pecked the fuck out of it and took out stuff that they didn't like and changed it, I think that it would have been a much better movie. Not that I thought it was bad. I was surprised at how much I like this weird shit, but it doesn't do the phantasm thing where it makes me like the other two better. But if I rewatch one of these three, it will be this one because I don't know. I kind of like the Cult of Thorn shit. I wish there was a little more of it in there. Um, upon reading about this movie, it seems like the director was indifferent at best. Like said he didn't like the Halloween movies, and it was part of a three-picture deal. So
Hmm.
uh, the writer was really passionate about the Halloween franchise. Went back, was trying to research as much as he could, research the symbol of the Cult of Thorn. Wrote as much to connect all the pieces together as he could, and then producers came in and fucked it up. And
Hmm.
uh but yeah, if they first my first problem with it is Jamie's age, because it's 8 years since the last one, right? There they say she's 14 giving birth in this movie. The actress playing her is 29. I looked it up and figured it all out. You cannot jump that far and make me believe that that's the time period that's went by or whatever. It's crazy. She's an adult person. She looks like she has a mortgage and whatever. But yeah, they should have just picked a younger person. The effects in this movie are the best out of these three. Maybe the best in the series as far as we've watched. Not counting the green films or whatever. Um, this is the best version of the mask since the original too. I like this mask. A lot of people shit on it, said it looked like it was made of plastic or whatever. I don't care what you think it's made of. It looks cooler than the past two at least. Uh,
Very.
but uh, I think this is like I said, somebody's trying to do something interesting with this. Like the past two movies haven't really. It's been kind of the same thing, cookie cutter. Um, it could have been an 8 or a 9 if they would have left that script intact and really catered to piecing all the things together. Um, the ending is really weird and blunt, but I understand that they tried to do some reshoots and Donald Pleasence had already passed away, and so they had to figure some other way to wrap it up. It's just so blunt and weird, and I don't know. I don't even know what happened really, but it's quite a ride. And I don't know how you can't enjoy Paul Rudd. The whole dynamic between Paul Rudd and Loomis is great because
Oh
Loomis
yeah, because
comes
he's
in.
Tommy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Tommy, and they evidently tried to get the original Tommy, but something was they couldn't do that or whatever. But the energy between them kind of brings me back to Loomis because he'll come in and say some really old man shit, and then Paul Rudd's like, "I've been telling you this, motherfucker. I've been telling you he's here. I've been telling you. I've been telling you. I've been telling you." And they should have kind of made him the new Loomis, like
That
the
would have
new.
been cool.
But 7 out of 10, not too bad. Ray,
Go for it, Randy.
7 out of 10, huh?
yeah,
All right. Well, yeah, I did not enjoy this one. I didn't think it was horrible, but I didn't think it was good. Seven out of 10, not at all, not even close in my opinion.
I like bad
Um,
stuff. Remember?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the story is all over the place. You can say this guy tried to stitch it together with the other ones, but
There is a
I
story
mean,
though. It's not just fucking Michael
I,
Myers doing the same
I
Frankenstein bullshit he
guess
does in every movie, and then Loomis going, "Get that
what
man."
what what exactly is the story? There's a
What's the
cult.
story? Yeah, there's a cult
They're
there's a
making a
cult that
baby. They're making babies. I mean,
Michael
what's
Myers
the
was one of
fucking
those
story?
babies. The whole town, the original script had the whole town involved. Like everybody
Fight,
was
fight,
I'm not
fight,
talking about the
fight,
original
fight.
script. I'm talking about what I watched.
What,
I
and you
didn't
didn't
read
piece
the
that
original
together? It was
script.
too
I watched this
confusing that
movie.
there was a
Get
cult that
your
was making
popcorn,
evil
John.
babies.
There
There
was.
was a cult making evil babies. Michael Myers was one. His niece was one.
Oh, was he? That's cool.
Yeah.
They didn't mention that at all. They
He
just.
had the mark, son. Pay
Oh,
attention
okay.
to the film. It wasn't deep. I'm dumb. It wasn't deep. It was like a cult. Michael Myers is part of the cult. He's like they're killing
They're
demons.
controlling Michael Myers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's evil.
Okay.
Evil
Yeah.
shit, Ray.
It's a stupid,
always evil
stupid,
shit.
stupid thing.
You're right. They should have
Um,
did the same thing again.
No, they should have had an ending. They should have had an ending for the two movies that they wrote prior to this. This was like some sci-fi movie. I don't know what the fuck I was watching. There's cult members and two test tubes with babies in them. I mean, at the end, he's beating him to death and like green liquids coming out of him. I mean, what
You
the
injected
fuck
him
am I
with a bunch
watching?
of that poison or whatever it was.
So yeah, the only good thing I can say is I did like Tommy. I like Tommy and the Loomis interactions, but I thought everything about this was bad, except for some of the kills. Yeah, I didn't like this movie at all. I would never watch this one again. Um, for, John Paul was telling me I needed to watch. He got me all angry.
The
So I'm
producer's
fucking-
cut is he was telling me that too.
Yeah.
The producer's
Yeah, he's
cut.
telling me to watch the producer's cut. Maybe I'll like it better. I might try that some other time, but I thought
It
this
only
failed.
gets more culty.
This failed for me on every level. It didn't feel like a Halloween movie to me. It just had random shit stitched together. Like I said, the ending is even more arbitrary and ridiculous than the other two, in my opinion. So yeah, I didn't quite like this. I gave it a 4 out of 10. So
So I remember being super stoked for this one when it came out to theaters. Me and my dad went and saw it at the theaters. Really liked it a lot. Well, actually, no, I liked it not a lot when I was a kid because it was confusing. The cult thing was like, threw me off when I was younger.
No, well, hold on a minute. You guys talk about the cult throwing you off. Would it have thrown you off more if they never brought the cult into it and you just from part 5 you remember glimpses of the black man, the man in all black or whatever, and that tattoo? Like
I didn't know that was a cult. I would have just
But-
assumed, like John said, that he was some evil being that, like, I don't know what he was. They just
but that wouldn't
invented
have-
that for the next part.
But that wouldn't have confused you if you just saw those images out of context and never resolved ever. You'd be like, oh well, fucking Michael.
I wouldn't
just
have
went
been
to
any
a-
more.
Michael just went down to White
less
Wizard, got
confused
himself
than I
a
was
tat.
by the end of all of this. So
Well, anyways,
Uh,
John,
I liked when Dr. Wynn was revealed to be the man in black. I thought that was really cool. He played the part really well. I wish Dr. Hoffman would have been there too. They would have brought him back. That would have been cool. But like the whole producer's cut thing really gets into the cult.
Yeah, I
Like-
didn't know what I had the producer's cut, but I had no idea what the difference was.
Oh
So it's
yeah,
not it's not
like
like bloodier
more-
or more
What's that?
graphic. It's not more graphic or
a little bit more, but like
just all-
that ending is not the ending.
they
The
had
ending,
to when they went through to do reshoots. Pleasence was dead.
Hmm.
They went through and they like panicked, it seemed like, and took out a lot of scenes that to kind of fix their ending. I don't think because I think the test screening, the ending, they didn't like how it ended.
Mm.
And so they're like, oh well, fuck, Pleasance is dead. We got to reshoot. Let's cut.
Right.
We need to cut this out to this for this to make sense and whatever, So they took a
yeah.
confusing.
It feels like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they hacked it. They hacked it to pieces. There's so much taken out. Like it says, what's it
John,
say?
can you tell us what the ending is of the?
Yeah. So
Okay.
like Loomis ends up. So first you see it very, very quickly in this. There's a cutaway of Paul Rudd look in the hospital looking down the hall, and you see him hold. You see the top of like a little, like it almost looks like a marble sack. All right. Quick, they were like, oh shit, we don't have a scene without it. All right, we're gonna try and do our best to crop it out. All right, so he made a big deal about the runes, right?
Mhm.
So he trapped Michael in the hallway and spread them runes around him, and it like killed him. And then somehow I can't remember because it's been a long time since I watched it. Somehow Loomis becomes the new Michael. He becomes the new
I remember
killer
hearing
for the
that.
cult. That's what that laughing was at the end, or him yelling. That
Okay.
was like lifted from the work print or the producer's cut, whatever you want to call it. It's really good
That
compared.
sounds interesting. Yeah, compared
It
to
is
what
like
we.
if you weren't feeling the cult stuff, then I feel like you're not gonna want to check this out because they really go into it.
Okay.
Um, but it wraps it up though.
Yeah, I mean they explained it well.
Mm-hmm. I just don't get what was their end game? Just to control people or control the world? Well, what was their end? I don't
I
understand.
don't know. I don't
It's
know.
always to take over the world, right? And
Was
like,
it? I mean, I
I
guess that's
assume
it.
eventually, you start small business, you start local, and
Evil
then eventually,
babies.
pretty
You
soon
got
you
to
Kill a
have a
got
couple
bunch of evil
kids.
pretty
babies.
soon you got the gates of hell open up, and then Lucifer's on the loose. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just you start small, you build it up. So
yeah. But I really like the music in this one. Uh, for all these sequels, the from the fourth and up, Alan Howarth is the composer. He was like a frequent Carpenter collaborator.
mhm.
Like he's on like Prince of Darkness,
The
like
Thing, right?
Live, all of them,
Mhm.
like all of it. Um, and it was definitely different this time. Uh, how awesome was it when John Strode's head blew up?
Mhm.
That guy was a fucking
Yeah.
jerk off. Oh
I
God.
forgot
You
about him.
don't
I
talk
yeah,
to Kim Darby like that. You leave her sweet little face alone,
yeah, I
sir.
loved when he died. That was probably my favorite part,
I
That was
love it whenever
Yeah.
she was on the phone giving him shit about moving him into the house without time. You knew, didn't you? You fucking knew, and you moved us in.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and it's not even remotely the same house at all.
No.
even from five, because if five had like a rotunda corner, like almost like a castle spire type deal.
And I forgot to mention this too. John Paul told me, and I didn't look this up, but he knows a lot about this movie in particular. But that Danielle Harris didn't come back for this to reprise her role because she was having a dispute with Harvey Weinstein
Mm.
at the time. There was some sort of, I don't know if it was a hotel situation, but there was
Oh,
some sort
Well, I
of
read
a.
they wouldn't that
Hmm.
she was trying to come back for this, and
Well,
they wouldn't pay for her. She just wanted $5,000, and then she had to go through some legal bullshit to be able to work on it, and then they wouldn't reimburse her for that time or that money like that she
right.
had to spend to get the legal paperwork, whatever.
Yeah, John Paul said that Harvey Weinstein had a hand in that for some reason. So he read
Probably.
that somewhere. I did not know that either.
Well,
But
this
yeah,
was this is the first one that's Dimension, right?
yeah,
So
or Miramax, right?
yeah,
Was it
Miramax.
was it
Miramax?
Miramax?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, whatever.
but
So,
I ended
anyways,
up
I just
giving
thought that was interesting.
Mm.
Sorry.
this one a 6. It's definitely the best of the trilogy, I guess, if you will. It had a way darker tone and feel, but also a little bit more ridiculous at the same time. But I enjoyed it more. It wasn't as boring as 5 dragged. You were right. 5 dragged. Like,
You think this one's better than 4?
Stuff is happening.
Get him, Randy.
I'm just saying. I know. I get you.
it has some nostalgia. 4 had. Please understand. 4 is a well-made return of Michael Myers. It's got some nostalgia. When I was a kid, I loved all of these so much. All of them. Not so much now. Like 1, 2, and then 3, and then I'll watch the first 2 of the new ones. You know, and if I'm feeling froggy, I'll throw in the producer's cut because it's fun. I like it a lot.
Okay.
I highly suggest checking that out.
I probably will now that we've talked about it.
Just to say you saw the original intent, what the original intent was.
I'm swinging over to John Paul's house on Saturday, and I'm gonna
swinging.
Yeah,
Ray.
yeah.
Swingers party.
You can't just announce that.
Yeah, but he's got the copy, so I'll probably grab it from him Saturday.
Sweet.
Jason, did you go?
No. So the producer's cut is the one that I watched. So now I want to watch the theatrical version because
you never seen the theatrical.
Nah, yeah. I had this on tape a long time ago.
Okay.
I'm sure that's the
so
theatrical. But again, I was young. All I wanted was Michael Myers killing. I didn't even pick up on this stuff. Like the just showing the black boots in part 5 and the figure. Like wasn't even concerned about that. Just I want to see Michael Myers kill someone.
I was intrigued.
So this one had a very strong holiday feel to it. There was, lots of costumes, decorations around. This one had some atmosphere. There was also kind of funny at the same time because, they got lightning and they got fog going on. And it's, that dark, stormy night, but it never rains. Like, it's not raining at all in this movie. It's just lightning going off like the whole time. The first act is just confusing. All the different characters in this one, and then the blonde girl who gets smacked around by her dad. She is very, very much older than what that role is supposed to have been.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Should have been. Jamie, right? She gets stabbed, or she dies. Yeah. That character, she was older than it should have been too. And then the other family, the other Strode family, and then all this other, it's just a mess. This story is a freaking mess for a slasher. It's not supposed to be like this. You're not just kills, gore, kills, tits. That's a slasher. This has a lot going on. But it picks up and it explains things in the second, third act. But yeah, the story's all over the place. Good kills in this though. I like the effects. There was some blood in this. At least more than the last two movies anyway. Yeah, it's a weird story, but has great slasher elements in this movie. I gave it a 6.
Nice.